myself, Divya Momaya. I am a company secretary by profession and a board mentor. Last 20 years industry experience and last 5 years, with this 20 years experience, when I saw that, as corporate governance, we are talking of good governance in big companies. India has close to around 5 to 7, 8,000 companies which are listed and where we are talking of good governance. But India has 7 crore SMEs and MSMEs which are yet to see the corporatization. So I think that's where more and more good governance needs India to take, when they are growing. I mean, as a nation, when we are growing, good governance is going to be a pillar. And that's where, when investors are going to come and they're going to look, the first most important parameter they look at is the governance. So when we, nurtured this entire idea of MentorMyBoard, we saw that, there's huge gap. Today, governance is only spoken about in the big companies. So what about those small companies which really wants to grow and which really wants to become big? So what is the journey? I mean, today also one of the panelists spoke about that there are hardly 2% of companies in India which have 25% less than shareholding. So when there are more stakeholders in the company, that's where real governance starts coming in. So that's something what we have envisioned last 5 years before, and now I can see that entire ecosystem what we are creating for directors, for mentors, and for corporates. So where directors are able to nurture, groom themselves, the corporates are able to get trained quality directors for their boardrooms. And most importantly, there are huge industry mentors, huge industry directors who already have rich experience, and they need a platform to share their experience with the the directors, aspiring directors, and completely create the ecosystem.
The summit.
Absolutely. So I think we started with just an idea, and today when I see on the platform we have more than 2,000 logins created on every summit. I mean, whenever we have done, whether it was Women Directors Conclave, we had more than 1,200 registrations. So today also we have more than 300 registrations. People are virtually watching it across India. And more than, I think, 240 registrations are here in, and people are there at NSC today. So I can see what, the idea which we germinated is taking shape today.
Bit thought on that.
So the idea behind creating this Independent Directors Summit is transforming India with good governance. And when we see the ecosystem, when we see the governance, independent directors are the most important pillar in the entire governance ecosystem. And even regulators want independent directors to be more ready and more participative, more effective when they are in the boardrooms. But then there are a lot of regulatory oversights which are increasing, the penalties, the prosecution, and that's the fear. So these kind of initiatives, what we are doing is creating that ecosystem where independent directors are able to learn, sharpen their skills. They know where to, what to, and how to take risks, how to be more effective in the boardroom. So digital future fit boards, for example, is one of the topic. How the boardrooms are ready for the future. Are the boardrooms themselves digitally equipped, or they're still working in the traditional ways? At the same time, the regulatory oversight, for example, there is one session where eminent people are from the industry are going to speak. And the regulatory oversight is increasing, and lot of expectations of the regulators are there on the independent directors. How are they able to cope up? So these are some insights which are coming from the eminent mentors here who are on the panel. Then there is also one more kind of very interesting topic on board seat to board impact. So it's only having a board seat or a tick box, or you're really creating an impact in the boardroom with your presence. So these kind of topics, brainstorming, discussions will help more and more. Everyone has the inspiration, the mentors, and we are guided by our advisory board, which has eminent, mentors with us, eminent advisory board. So Nilesh Vikamsi is past president of CA Institute. He sits himself on few boards as independent director. Mr. Rajnikant Patel is there, who is ex-MD of CEO of Bombay Stock Exchange. Amisha Vora is there. Sridhar Ramchandran. Sanjay ji is there, who is a promoter director. So we have even created our advisory board in such a way that we get all the perspectives of promoters, of independent directors, of the entire trade and industry. So that's how we've, they are our guiding stars basically.
Hello everyone, I'm Neha Shah, co-founder director of MentorMyBoard. We are building a community of 1 lakh directors through the platform of MentorMyBoard. Thank you.
मैम दिस इज द ईयर, किस तरह का रिस्पांस है? आगे भी आप लोगों ने सबमिट किया है, लेकिन इस साल के रिस्पांस के बारे में अगर बात करें, थोड़ा सा बताइए उस बारे में। जो डायरेक्टर्स आए हैं अंदर और उनसे किस तरह का कन्वर्सेशन हुआ और थोड़ा सा अगर आज के बारे में बताया आप.
Okay. This is the third Independent Directors Summit that we are holding. We've done past two summits which were virtual. This one we are doing it physical with National Stock Exchange as our venue partner, and we are happy to invite 250 guests and delegates, corporates from various locations pan India. The summit has been a wonderful experience for us to host everyone, and as well to for MentorMyBoard to understand what directors need from platforms like MentorMyBoard.
Brief us about that.
The vision of MentorMyBoard is to create a 1 lakh directors community in the next 2 to 3 years, and we are on a mission to empower 2,500 women board leaders, creating a pool of them so that India is not any short of women leaders at the top. As Nirmala Sitharamanji, our finance minister, had graced the occasion of Women Directors Conclave in September on the 16th, this was our aim, that we create that pool of women board leaders, wherein she graced the occasion and also started with a program of womb.
Their response.
So the program of womb was mainly for women board leaders. Women from across India have given a very great response to the program. We've had participants from pan India, and we are happy that we are Kiran ma'am is an epitome of good governance, which we all look forward to. And initially, which she agreed to come in and join us virtually, but then after we had a discussion with her, she gracefully accepted and said that she would be really happy to join us physically at this venue. And that is where, the entire event has got that virality from. We are on a mission, as I said, to create a community of 1 lakh directors. We plan to train, nurture, upskill directors, not only the independent ones, but the promoters, the startups, and the entire ecosystem. We are here to have a community wherein everyone learns, nurtures, and thrives together. Form as a digital tech platform which we have created has been a pivotal one, wherein directors can come at one place. It acts as a one-stop solution for every director, and would like to have a community wherein they interact with each other, and they get those board opportunities which they are seeking, because we are inviting corporates who can come in, and also the mentors who can train them.
Acting CEO of Bombay Stock Exchange. I have worked in banking, commodity space, and financial services and strategic advisory services. Coming to today's event, which is about the regulatory oversight and independent directors, I think it is a very relevant thing which MentorMyBoard has put in, because today what we require, the commercial space requires, the industry requires, the country requires, is growth of our economy, our corporate sector. And for growth, compliance is necessary. You can grow only when you have a compliance in your DNA. It is not that somebody, government gives you a checkbox and you take it. No. That DNA, it has to be of the compliance into the corporate sector. And today's sessions and the speakers have really thrown some very good lights and insights into how we can be a compliant corporate India to make our country one of the best governed and best growing. So I would say MentorMyBoard has done excellent job of bringing a platform where
Machandran, advisory board member at MentorMyBoard. The independent directors are playing a very important role in the Indian corporates, but they've just started. We have a long way to go. Companies Act 2 terms are over for most of the independent directors, and you can see at least 5,000, 6,000 directors have to be replaced from this year onwards. But these independent directors have to be trained. They are not just relatives or friends who can come on the independent directors board. They need to do a proper job because public money is involved. If the public money is involved, stakeholders are there, they're asking questions, social media is talking about it. So it's very important for independent directors to understand their role, not just compliance role. We need to be working with the company's objectives and whether they can really solve the issues which the stakeholders are expecting. I think that is what is very, very important in today's world. Technology is emerging. The directors have to be understanding what technology is about. ESG is one of the important area. How sustainable your companies are. If you are not understanding these things, your environment, your social angle, your workers, how are you dealing with the society? These are very, very important, and I think independent directors have to gear up, and Mentor My Board is exactly doing that function to help the directors to get trained.